The more and more I was in different breweries, I realized, oh, there wasn't a lot of people that looked like me, and I thought that was weird. I can't be the only Black person or racialized person who likes beer in this province. Like, what's going on?
Since the 1950s, beer has been marketed towards men and a very specific group of men, and people got excluded because they just didn't fit this mold of who is drinking beer. And so if you do that for long enough, and that's the narrative, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It becomes the narrative.
I go to these like brewers meetings or brewers conferences or something like that, and I am the only person that looks like me. It's not uncommon in a lot of the spaces that I enter. That's what it's like.
Anyone who thinks that Black people or racialized people don't drink beer, like, it's false. I know that's not true. I drink beer. People I know drink beer. I think they might drink it not in public because they might not feel that they are welcome or that beer space is for them.
I think maybe what it comes down to could be just representation. You know, they don't see a lot of people reflected who are working behind the bar, who are brewing. Definitely not.
I think it just feels really isolating. I think definitely there's that assumption that, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to beer. So I, order a beer and they have comments like, oh, that one's like a little hoppy, or that one's a little, I'm not sure you'll like it. I know what I'm ordering and I know what I want. I do think a lot of times that, who can drink beer is based on who is allowed to live out loud and authentically in public. The way our world is, that is white people.
Craft beer is perceived as, and I think we present ourselves as, being a very community-oriented, collaborative, inclusive space. It's given me so much, this community. It was sad to me to know that other people weren't having that experience. I think it was a little bit disingenuous to promote ourselves as being this very collaborative, community-oriented industry when we were sort of, whether it was inadvertently or purposefully, excluding an entire portion of our community.
I was mad. I started asking questions very publicly on social media. So I'd just reply on Twitter like, oh, thanks, but what does that mean? What does that mean in action? Because it's not enough just to say like, we support you. It's like, what are you doing about it?
After Sharon sent me a message, we'd never met in person before, but I asked her if she'd be willing to come down and just have a pint with me so that we could chat.
Over conversations, we talked a lot about some of the things that we were seeing that, might be barriers for people who want to access craft beer. So people who want to drink it, people who want to work in craft beer. And that led to us saying, hey, maybe we should start an organization that tries to increase the representation of different folks in the craft beer industry. And that's what led to Hop Forward.
Some of the things that came up were just like embarrassingly simple and things we hadn't really thought of, and it could have been as simple as making sure our Instagram feed wasn't just people that look like me.
There's this caricature of like who a craft beer drinker is, like a bearded white man. If you open up your Instagram account and look at different breweries, there still is the same sort of people that you're seeing in these images. I do think that makes people think that beer isn't for them because that's the only images that they see.
It's very easy to say we didn't have a diverse applicant pool. And it's very easy to push that back on the applicants and say, well, just no one who wasn't, a white bearded male applied for the brewer position. But maybe the way you put the job offering out there or the way you designed your application process, maybe that didn't create a safe space for someone who didn't look like that to apply.
So yeah, this is the sorrel. It's like a very striking color. I do hope to see, more young Black brewers out there, that's for sure. I think there's definitely like a push to kind of include everyone into their brewing, not just because it's something you can make money with, but the more perspectives we have on this, the better that we get at it collectively. So why wouldn't you want that?
Breweries that realize, okay, it is our value. We want to be diverse. We have to name the problem. We have to be out loud with it because nothing will change if we don't.